Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Uncovering the Hidden Agendas, a video series dedicated to showing you all how Satan has put his hand of influence on just about every aspect of society. So today's topic is politics, and before I start this video, I want to make a disclaimer that this video does not endorse or support any specific political party, and I'm not going to try to sway you toward any specific political party. The goal of this video is just like all the others on this channel, to show you how Satan has influenced our country and our world. So check out this breakdown of the word government. To govern is to rule or control, and ment, the suffix ment, is of the mind or mental. Thus the word government means mind control. I can stop right there, man. That's just so mind-blowing. But let's just see what type of mind control games are being played in the world of politics. So, a review of what we saw in the first couple episodes, the use of the red-blue color trope. This is occult symbolism. The idea of duality, red and blue put together creates that duality. So we see presidential candidates and their wives wearing these colors. All right. We see purple as well, red and blue mixed together. Purple again. And so we see this duality, this symbolism, not just when candidates are of different political parties, of course, blue representing Democrat, red representing Republican, but also when they're in the same party. Like, why are they wearing these colors specifically if they're on the same team, if they're part of the same political party? It has to be that occult symbolism. Same thing here with Trump and Pence. We looked at political party symbols in episode 2. So the Democrat logo, also red and blue symbolism. And the National Convention they just had back in 2020. That star in that D looks a lot like an inverted pentagram. That symbol has strong ties to witchcraft, Satanism, Freemasonry, specifically used to conjure up evil spirits. It's right there in our eyes. Best way to hide something is to put it in plain sight. And then on the other hand, the Republican logo, specifically using this inverted pentagram, I guess as a way to be the complete opposite of the Democrat logo, but now they're literally saying we're evil. So the inverted pentagram and also the red and blue duality. We talked about symbols connected to our nation's capital that have satanic or pagan ties, or Freemason ties as well. So all this has me thinking, separation of church and state, that's a joke, man. It's like segregation against, God's church, the Christian church, and a free ride for the Church of Satan, because as you see, this stuff is all over the place and no one's doing anything about it. But the more we become aware of this stuff, maybe some changes can be made. So the Church of Satan's policy on politics, this is straight from their website. Basically what all of this is saying, they don't segregate, they don't discriminate. Be you a liberal, conservative, Republican, Democrat, Green Party, Libertarian, they don't care. They support any and all political parties. So I put this here to say that any and every political candidate, any and every president is fair game to promote these satanic agendas and symbols. So what else do we see in our society, in the world of politics? Hand signs. Very subtle but very deep meanings in these hand signs. So the devil's horns, used in Wiccan rituals to invoke the horn god, all right? So you see it a lot at rock concerts, right? It has a much deeper meaning, used as a salutation in LaVeyan Satanism. So instead of waving, hi, devil's horns. All right, so quite a few presidents and presidential candidates have used this symbol. Now you know the meaning of it. The pyramid. If you put your hands in this position, it looks like a pyramid, doesn't it? key symbol in Freemasonry and the Illuminati, and the top of that pyramid represents the elite, which I'm sure Mr. Trump here thinks of for himself. There he is doing it again. The 3 sixes. This is not the AOK symbol. It's the 3 sixes. 1, 2, 3. Number of the mark of the beast. Mr. Trump likes using that hand sign. Now you know what it means. The Nazi salute. This is one we haven't seen in this series yet. Debuted in Nazi Germany in the 1930s as a way to pay homage to Adolf Hitler. It consists of raising an outstretched right arm with the palm down. In Nazi Germany, it was often accompanied by chanting or shouting Heil Hitler or Sieg Heil. Since World War II, neo-Nazis and other white supremacists have continued to use the salute, making it the most common white supremacist hand sign in the world. So you see George W. Bush putting it up, Donald Trump, Joe Biden, and Barack Obama. I'm confused. Thought these guys were... Let me not even go there. Let's keep going. Alright, the peace sign, or the V. This isn't wishing other people peace. It's talking about another god, in this case Pan, the horned god. So the 2 fingers representing 2 horns. Then the hidden hand and bosom. We saw this in episode 5, Common Gesture in Freemasonry. So the hand that executes the actions is hidden behind cloth or clothing to symbolize the covert nature of the Mason's actions. Of course, this is a secret society or private society, whatever they want to call themselves. And this gesture is symbolic of that. So this is our 14th president, Franklin Pierce. You see George Washington also using this gesture. So speaking of which, how many presidents have ties or connections to Freemasonry? Let's check it out. We already saw George Washington entered Freemasonry at the age of 20. At his first inauguration, he swore his oath on a Bible from the Masonic Lodge in New York. Thomas Jefferson was a member of the Lodge and also a member of the FHC Society, another secret society. James Monroe started Masonic degrees in Williamsburg, Virginia, while in college. Andrew Jackson, quite some drama under him. Because of him, well, partly because of him, the anti-Masonic Party rose as a third party in politics. So this happened because the Masons kidnapped a man in New York who threatened to reveal secrets about Freemasonry. And the anti-Masons opposed what it perceived as a sinister, elitist, and anti-democratic secret society. 100%, I agree. James Polk, initiated in Columbia Lodge in Columbia, Tennessee. Franklin Pierce has been claimed as a Freemason, but there are no official records of it. If he's doing that hand sign, that hand gesture, I'm pretty sure he is. James Buchanan, Lodge number 43. Abraham Lincoln, he expressed interest, so we don't know if he did, but he was at least intrigued by it. Andrew Johnson, proud Mason throughout his life. He was a Royal Arch Mason, Knight Templar, we talked about that a little bit, and Scottish Rite Mason. And the local Masonic temple played a great role in his funeral proceedings. Oh yeah, they'll do that. Whether you are proud to be a Mason or you're trying to get out of being a Mason, they will do the whole funeral for you. James Garfield, initiated in Magnolia Lodge, received the Capitular and Templar degrees and those of the Lodge of Perfection. Remember that word. William McKinley, initiated as a Mason while fighting for the Union during the Civil War. The Lodge he was initiated in is now named after him. You see the Masonic apron. Theodore Roosevelt, here's one of his quotes. "One of the things that attracted me so greatly to Masonry that I hailed the chance of becoming a Mason was that it really did act up to what we as a government and as a people are pledged to, of treating each man on his merits as a man." And again, that Masonic apron. William Taft, made a Mason at night by order of the Grand Master of Ohio. And check this out. A 1912 Masonic record book mentioned that Taft was influential in applying Masonic principles in his attempts to handle world affairs. Wow. So we're really starting to see the Masonic influence on our country, whether we like it or not, whether we want it or not. Warren Harding, first initiated as an entered apprentice with the Masons on June 28, 1901, raised to the level of Master Mason 19 years later. The timing of his acceptance just happened to coincide with Harding's presidential campaign and subsequent victory. Franklin D. Roosevelt, initiated as a Mason in 1911, later became a Grand Master. He pulled a Mason-related prank in 1935 on Joseph Kennedy. Yeah, that's real mature, Mr. Roosevelt. Harry Truman, very involved with the Freemasons all the way back from his time in Belton, Missouri. He helped found a Masonic Lodge there in 1911 and was elected its first master, eventually became a Grand Master Mason. Lyndon B. Johnson, he started in the process of becoming a Freemason, but didn't get very far. Gerald Ford raised to the order on May 18, 1949 in Columbia Lodge in D.C. Ronald Reagan was made an honorary Freemason, and Bill Clinton as a youth was a member of the Order of Demolay. So check it out, 20 of our now 46 presidents had ties to Freemasonry. Quite a big influence, whether we were aware of this or not. That's something. Now let's talk about symbols a little bit. Just like hand signs, a very subtle but very deep way of promoting these agendas. So this is a screenshot from a speech that Joe Biden made. And check out that flag in the back. I couldn't help but notice that. The way this flag was folded and put into that case, it shows an inverted pentagram. Whether that was intentional, folding it that way, whether it was intentionally put in the video frame of this filming, that's up for debate, but I just couldn't help but notice that. Check this out. This is the creator of the Dilbert comic, and he had something interesting to say about Joe Biden's campaign slogan.
Don't they say that Satan, his biggest trick is telling you he doesn't exist? So he would be hiding in plain sight, but there would be lots of clues if you were not blinded by the satanic influences. For example, what is Joe Biden's slogan? Build back better. Build back better. BBB. If you were going to imagine 666 and you want to show it to people and disguise it at the same time, can you think of any letter that the numeral 6 would fit inside completely? Only capital B. Capital B is the only letter that you could put a 6 on the inside of it and it would be concealed.
So how about that, huh? Check this out. When he was inaugurated as vice president in 2009, of course, as all initiates do for president and vice president, they swear on a Bible, and this Bible had been in his family for generations, probably over 100 years. But look closely at the side of that Bible. Upside down crosses. We've seen that. That can only mean that this is a satanic Bible been in his family for generations, and he swore on it to become the then Vice President of the United States. That's pretty sinister. A couple more symbols. 2018 election, Susan Narvaez used the inverted pentagram. And in 2019, when David Woods ran for mayor of Montgomery, Alabama, he used what looks like the infinity symbol, right? What's the significance of that? The infinity symbol comes from Uraeus, the magical cobra of ancient Egypt. And it's also used as a symbol for the Egyptian goddess Wadjet. And so ultimately, when someone uses this infinity symbol, what they are calling us to do is to realize our divinity, there's that higher self principle again, and claim our magic. So even in something as simple as a campaign logo, you can see where a candidate's head is really at. And the Libertarian Party, the third most popular political party in our country after Republican and Democrat, one of the third parties represented in our country. Check out their logo. A torch, right? What does that torch remind you of that we've seen? Libertas, the Roman goddess of freedom and liberty, holding a torch. And of course, the inspiration for what we now know as the Statue of Liberty. And let's look at the United Nations logo. The United Nations is an intergovernmental organization aiming to maintain international peace and security, develop friendly relations among nations, achieve international cooperation, and be a center for harmonizing the actions of nations. So to sum all that up, global politics, all right? So in the United Nations logo, the circle or globe is divided into sections. How many? Let's count them together. Top section 1, 2, 3, 4. Bottom section 5, 6, 7, 8. 9, 10, 11, 12. 13, 14, 15, 16. 17, 18, 19, 20. 21, 22, 23, 24. And it's kind of hidden now, but you can still tell it's divided. 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31. This would be 32 in here. And then the middle circle is 33. You guys know the significance of 33? There are 33 degrees in the Scottish Rite of Freemasonry. Here we go again. And 33 is also a significant number in Brahmanism, Islamism, and Buddhism. All right, let's see some examples of blasphemy. So this guy, I don't know his name or his background, anything like that, but he had the bright idea of creating a golden depiction of Donald Trump's head, putting it on, and walking around. And these people down here posed with him, took pictures with him. Like, oh yeah, look at this guy. But what does this remind you of? The golden calf, right? The book of Exodus. So it's like, whether this guy intended to or not, and whether these people were aware of it or not, Donald Trump, through this image, through this golden head, is being promoted as an idol or a god. And as we see in Exodus 32, you can look it up on your own time. This was a great sin before God when the people made this idol. Moses literally had to beg God for forgiveness after the people built this idol. All right, some more examples. Back when Donald Trump was tweet happy, California is going to hell, vote Trump. October 12, 2020, same day, New York has gone to hell, vote Trump. And fast forwarding, of course, he lost both of these states in the 2020 election. So that's how it goes. If someone doesn't vote for you, you go to hell. Don't think that's how that works. And this really got under my skin. There was some kind of relief effort back in 2015 for those who had lost their houses and other things in wildfires. And Donald Trump got the idea of signing Bibles. signing Bibles as if he himself is the author. I looked up some quotes about book signing. Book signing is popular because an author's signature increases the value of books for collectors. People get their books signed to make a personal connection to the author. Did Donald Trump write the Bible? No. Did Donald Trump's signature increase the value of the Bible in any way? No. So why is he signing it? Why is he signing it? He knows the significance of signing a book. He's an author. This is a picture from his 2015 book signing where he signed his own book. So why did he sign the Bible as if he wrote it himself? Questions that make you go, And let's check this video out. This was a meeting of the 117th Congress that happened earlier this year. And this was an excerpt from the opening prayer.
Now may the God who created the world and everything in it bless us and keep us. May the Lord make his face to shine upon us and be gracious unto us. May the Lord lift up the light of his countenance upon us and give us peace. Peace in our families, peace across this land, and dare I ask, O Lord, peace even in this chamber, now and evermore. We ask it in the name of the monotheistic God, Brahma, and God known by many names, by many different faiths. Amen and a woman.
Please don't laugh. Please don't laugh. It's not funny, all right? And we didn't hear the introduction, but this guy is a pastor of a church, right? And he's praying like that, and you saw he wrote it down and he was reading. Don't even get me started on that. That's a whole another rant for another day. But a God known by many different names and many different faiths. Who does that sound like to you? Not Jesus. Not God. Let's check this out. This is an excerpt from an article about Hillary Clinton and her campaign team. The story was shocking, breaking just days before the 2016 U.S. presidential election. As revealed in a cache of emails stolen by the Russian government and published by WikiLeaks, Hillary Clinton's campaign chair, John Podesta, had ingested breast milk, semen, menstrual blood, and urine during a bizarre occult ritual known as a spirit dinner. A shadowy cabal of high-profile figures had attended the satanic smorgasbord. As if anyone needed any more proof, the Clinton campaign was, dramatic pause, in league with the devil, so the story went anyway. The reality of the spirit dinner is much more banal, save for the fact that emails were procured through a coordinated effort by a hostile foreign power to subvert American democracy, but that's just details. John Podesta had received a message from his brother Tony, an art collector. Tony told John that performance artist Marina Abramovich, a friend of Tony's, had invited him and John to a spirit cooking dinner. Spirit cooking was a reference to Abramovich's 1997 art installation of the same name, which featured, among other jarring imagery, recipes written on gallery walls in what appeared to be blood. John never responded to the invitation. A later exchange between Tony and John revealed that John hadn't attended the dinner, but that didn't matter. The story was out. John Podesta was a devil worshipper. This was news to Abramovich, who later explained that the dinner, which again John Podesta did not attend, featured just a normal menu. We just call things funny names, that's all. That particular fact check is only the tip of the iceberg. Spirit cooking wasn't a one-off conspiracy theory specific to the 2016 election. Clinton and her associates had been accused of various degrees of devil worship for decades. Months before the spirit dinner story broke, for example, Ben Carson, the brain surgeon turned Trump booster, later turned Housing and Urban Development Secretary, asserted that Clinton was an agent of Lucifer himself. That Carson's statement was forgotten almost as quickly as he said it shows how normalized the Clinton is a devil trope had become. So how about that, huh? Whether whether Clinton participated in this satanic ritual or not, she's close friends and even campaign partners with someone that is a devil worshiper. And check this out. Aleister Crowley, the guy on the left, known as the wickedest man on the planet, does he have any resemblance to this person on the right? Barbara Bush, the wife of H.W. Bush, rumored to be Aleister Crowley's daughter. I don't know for sure. I'm still trying to research this a little bit, but the resemblance is kind of there. So I'll wrap this up by saying, what kind of nation teaches its people how to divide? I haven't really talked about specific political issues in this video, but I don't need to, right? All of you know how divisive politics are. And God is not a God of division, confusion. So what kind of nation teaches its people how to divide? Titus 3:10 and 11. As for a person who stirs up division, after warning him once and then twice, have nothing more to do with him, knowing that such a person is warped and sinful, he is self-condemned. Check out this song by a Christian rapper, MAGA. He released a song called "This is the Divided State of America." I'm just going to play the first verse, but it was spot on with what I'm talking about.
Look, I pledge allegiance to the divided state of America and to the Republican or the Democratic Party's hysteria. One nation divided. Liberty and justice for some. No, this is not what we recite, but it's what we've become. Are you left? Are you right? Pick a side. What kind of nation teaches its people how to divide? Oh yeah, one that's just trying to win an election. But how can one nation go in two different directions? Yeah. Either we split or we hold ourselves together. Make like bacteria or make each other better. Red or blue, we the people must be the people to choose, to love and respect each other despite different political views. I'm sick and tired of this civil war. I think it's time the left and the right start to meet in the middle more. Until then, I'm still standing, hand over my heart, pledging allegiance to what this nation can be. I pledge allegiance to the United States of America, one nation under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all. If united we stand and divided we fall. Oh Lord, why are we so mad? Do we not know how to love? Is it really this bad? All I see is hate, us versus them, DSA. This is the divided state of America.
Well said, MAGA. I think it's time this country starts to seek out unity and peace instead of dividing. So I'm going to wrap this video up by saying this. I'm not telling you guys not to vote. That's completely up to you. But I will say, vote for who you want, not just as a citizen, but as a Christian. There are many things political parties and presidential candidates debate about that aren't even Christ-like to begin with. So make sure that the candidate you choose is someone that God would approve of. Do some research on him or her like I've done in this video. Not just about their policies and what they believe, but their nature in general. See if there's some type of dark side to them. In the hand signs they use, the way they talk, things they say, people they associate with, symbols they use in their campaign logos. Just watch out, because there's a lot of wolves in sheep's clothing, and we don't need to be falling prey. So that does it for this video. I will see you guys in the next one. Be vigilant, my friends.